This should hopefully work. Okay guys, so today's video is something super special. So we have Jade Mordente, a Reiki practitioner, mystic, healer, amazing ambassador for everything mental wellness, one of the kindest people I know on the online space, and an avid ambassador for self-care. It's one of the biggest things that we actually talk about in our own time. So it's something really, really special. I'm actually now going to let her in. Is this working? Can you hear me?
This is working. All good? You can hear me?
I have the oldest headphones on, so I can just hear you.
I just got my AirPods for my birthday, so I used to be like that.
Okay,
anyway,
so
how are you?
I'm good. I mean, we've both had an interesting week, the previous one, and I feel like just at the moment, everything right now is just very tough. The past few conversations we've had in the past few months, we were lucky enough to meet each other through work, and since then, become very good friends. As I introduced before, a very blessing in terms of the internet space. And I think you always come across a few people that you can really kind of connect with. Firstly, a pleasure that, we even talk. It's gorgeous.
I know, it's so nice. I feel so lucky. I feel like with everything that's been going on these last few months, it has made space for friendships that maybe you wouldn't have had before. Yeah. So that's one of the blessings that has definitely came of this year, these kind of friendships.
This is something I would love to do. This is really up her street. I'm going to go for it. And I've never had a quicker response being like, F yeah, we're doing it. See you then.
Yeah.
Let's just do it then.
100%. Yeah. I was like, because I watch your content and I really enjoy your content.
Which
and
means
I was
a lot.
saying this,
Thank you.
Yeah. And I was saying this to you on the voice note. It's so nice to have open, especially at the moment, like when we're texting or DMing, and we're like, oh, it's been a bit of a difficult week. And, everyone's kind of feeling these in different their own way, and it's so nice to be real about it and just open up and say that. And I think that it's so nice to build that community and that connection as well. So it's as soon as I watch your content, I'm like, okay, he gets it. I love your content. It's so good.
Thank you.
Always,
and I did give you a little YouTube type in, and I was like, I'm sure she's got a video or she's been featured on it. You're on one which they took an article they took an article you were in and just put your name on it. Because I was like, when is she going to pop up? Never happened. But your name is in it, so don't worry.
Because
or
when I was at well, I had a big fight with YouTube.
Okay.
I had a huge fight with YouTube for a long time to get a video taken down. Don't worry, it wasn't that bad. But when I was at university, someone took a really artsy, I went to an art school. Someone took a very artsy video of me, kind of, I guess, semi-naked, rolling around in money. It was
demonetized immediately.
Yeah. And then it was on YouTube for so long, and I was like, this just has to go.
Okay.
Because I was 18 at the time. And then when I when I realized it was on there, when you search my name, it was one of the first things that came up.
Yeah,
and so I had this big fight with them for ages to get it taken down, and eventually they did. So I'm so glad that it's gone.
Otherwise I would have probably had a different afternoon, like, Jade, are you all right?
Yeah. 18-year-old Jade was wild.
I mean, come on, no, we've all, I mean, there's not that kind of video, but I'm sure we've all done our kind of things.
No, it was more like arty, but yeah, no, not a vibe.
I wish I had that excuse for stuff I've done in the past. I'm going to blame it on the arts, whatever. Method acting, maybe, me just getting into the role.
Acting.
I mean, your whole landscape has changed. You've moved completely to the that I would kill for, and I cannot wait to hear about your routines and everything. But from your world, I think it's just completely changed for you right now.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been a good whirlwind. So I was working mainly in fashion when we first started talking. I had just moved into the holistic healing full time. I was doing that part time for so many years, and I was juggling life in London, working in fashion. And when COVID happened, I got put on furlough, and at that point, it was already me and my partner were starting to have talks is London the best place for us with our mental health? And it's go, 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 go. And that was so good for a time. But then I think that we started to kind of maybe assess what we needed from the city and what it was doing for us. And we moved to Edinburgh on a whim. Within a month, we just went. We just were like, you know what, and it was such a big decision because I never thought I would leave London, and I was so determined. And I just was like, the fresh air, and we don't know if it's a forever thing. We're just going to play it by ear. But we've got the fresh air, we've got like a smaller, like more manageable city, and it's closer to home for me anyway.
I can't
So
even.
it's made a big difference.
And for everyone watching, your beautiful accent, where is it about that you're properly from in Scotland?
So I'm from Dundee, which is on the east coast, about an hour up from Edinburgh, but we're currently living in Edinburgh. And we went to Glasgow yesterday, so that was really beautiful as well. I love Glasgow. I've got a lot of time for there, and I think that it's quite a creative city. There's so much going on in Glasgow.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna, it's kind of a big adventure at the moment. It's a big adventure. We're just gonna see what happens.
I am so jealous. I mean, my partner's from...
You need to come and visit.
I know, I do. And I mean, my partner's there right now for 6 weeks for his exams, and just even the difference, you know, I'm very lucky. I think we're lucky wherever we are, full stop. I have to give thanks to that. I'm forcing myself sometimes too, but when he talks about his days, I mean, everyone around me knows that is an imminent future, which is going to happen. And if this hasn't manifested already by the amount of jokes I've made about, like, I'm not, you know, in London forever, it's happening. So yeah, we'll 100% catch up. I basically wanted to really focus on things that we've talked about recently. And like you said, it's that kind of honesty, which firstly means a lot. So thank you for always taking time and engaging with stuff that I do, and vice versa. And yeah, welcome to YouTube. I mean, my channel is the most intimate, sacred thing I have right now, apart from close-knit people. It's one of the platforms that I always have full control. This is super special. So I'm welcoming you to my channel, and thus
I'm
YouTube.
so honored. Yeah.
And yeah, so let's get on with our chats. What is nighttime PM for you, and the importance of it?
So I kind of switched up my routine so prepare yourself. I switched up my routine a bit recently, because what I was finding was I love to journal, and journaling is something that's so important to me. I love to just kind of before bed get all my thoughts onto a bit of paper. I think that it kind of clears my mind. I'm done. If there's anything that's like been lingering there, I can I feel like that's out of the way. But I used to do that in the morning. So I used to wake up and do that. And I've kind of switched it up recently, because what I found was, if it was something that was maybe a little deeper or a little bit, you know, something that maybe was a bigger issue, and I was writing about it in the morning, it was then on my mind for the rest of the day. So I've kind of switched up recently, really recently, and I started writing it down in the evenings. So my nighttime routine is like cleanse, do all my oils, do all my
I want to know it all.
So I cleanse. I've got my Kiehl's cleanser, and then I have my nighttime serum, which I live for from there. Then I'll do like candles.
Is that the blue, like the midnight serum, the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one, the midnight serum. It's so good. They've also I don't know how recent it is, but they've got the Cannabis Sativa serum. It's like
they've got the variant, the same one, but it's like a different variant, right?
It's really good, because I get a really bad hormonal acne like around here, and the Sativa it takes it away quickly. Really quickly.
So the anti-inflammatory side, the calming nature.
Really good, and so I do all my skincare, get it all kind of in my skin feeling good, and then I'll light some incense. And my favorite incense at the moment is something like Negroli, or they've got a patchouli one. Now patchouli is really, really good for calming your mind. It's a big anti-anxiety. So I'll have some patchouli or sandalwood. I'll light that in the evening, and then I'll also I kind of change up, but journal, oils, like all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, then, which oil? So is it the incense you put on and we're talking incense sticks, or is it actually you're burning the oils? What kind of things?
So I have got an oil burner as well. So if I'm burning them in an oil burner, then I'll use the same ones, but I usually use incense sticks. I kind of mix it up. For nighttime, I'll use an incense stick, because I don't want to wake up. Well, have to get up and then blow the candle out in my oil burner. So it's nice just to kind of get into bed and have it there. So when it's oils, usually lavender, patchouli and sandalwood, they're my kind of go-tos. I love them.
I've got mine here. That is my number one.
Which one do you have?
100%. The most important in that. Nothing is more important for me, I think, in the world. But lavender is the most versatile thing you will ever own, ever.
I completely agree. And I also, crystals. Obviously, I have to have my crystals.
And you're a pro at these. literal
You have
pro.
got to be. Have you
And
got crystals in your room?
no, which is
I need to
really,
get you
I
some
know.
crystals.
That was something actually that I remember asking you, and you said, you know, you do need to be careful when getting it. It's something that, you know, next time we catch up, we're gonna kind of sort, because I grew up with these.
Yeah.
I mean, I have rose quartz, so I guess that's.
I love rose quartz. Yeah, I think that's a really good one to have.
But I would love more. And I remember, so for anyone who doesn't follow Jade, please, everything will be down in the description box anyway. And your Instagram, alone for the tips you can get from anything regarding mental wellness, crystals, healing, advice, just anything, do it, because you make it in like a really easy kind of slideshow thing. I remember you put something about tourmaline recently.
Yes, black tourmaline. That's in my. I've got a little crystal highlight. That's very
and
I'm really
that was brilliant.
So so oils are like, as you said, lavender. And do you ever have the sleep spray? I'm trying to think. Yeah, the White Company do quite a nice one. It's got some lavender in it, and I always love a sleep spray on my pillow. I think like it's so good. Lavender is amazing.
The one thing I'm always careful with sleep sprays is my last job actually was in fragrance and skincare, and you learn a lot of what chemicals and things do. My biggest word of warning: only go essential oil for any. I don't care.
Ooh.
Even if like a brand was like, you know, to promote this, you know, or even to use it, I would never, ever, ever spray it on my pillow. The reason being is if it is anything synthetic, and there's a big kind of debate with it, if it's anything synthetic, don't. Put it maybe on your pajamas to wear downstairs, because it's as bad or the same as a fragrance, like a perfume. So if you wouldn't spray your pillow, I doubt you would wear this, but like your Cherry Mugler Angel on your pillow, you may as well be doing the same thing, because you're literally putting synthetic fragrance on. So what I would do is make your own suspensions. You could do with a carrier water, so like a distilled water with a few drops of lavender, and make your own recyclable spray. You can actually put it directly on the fabric because lavender doesn't stain. That's what I do actually.
That's a really good idea, because I make a lot of my own kind of face sprays with distilled water.
Do it the same for the
similar. Okay, I need to, because it's good to know that, because I like spray it like religiously on my pillow.
Yeah, no. Don't give companies more money. Make it yourself.
Do that.
You could do your own blend with patchouli. You could do jasmine. You could do chamomile and lavender, and mix that together and make your own kind of. That is
such a good idea. That is such a good idea. Thank you.
FYI, those are my favorite essential oils in the whole entire universe. Anything, or even ylang ylang. Bergamot's very good as well for uplifting the mood, also for concentration. So if you were going to kind of do your journaling in the evening, to have that kind of spritz with a slight kind of bergamot would be beautiful.
I might do that. I'm going to do this once we get off this call. I'm going to do it for tonight.
Do it. I could talk for hours. My partner can only quote on that. Like my evening is completely based around essential oils. I adore it.
Wow, amazing. Because this is amazing to know. Because I literally have been like, I'm one of those people who I don't believe everything that companies tell me, but if someone's like, this is so soothing for bedtime, it's perfect to spray like on your pillow, I tend to think that there's like a law against that.
So it has to be kind of true, because it's like a very intimate thing. So it's like, oh, they're doing a nice thing.
Yeah, like, oh, they're trying to help me.
Okay, I'm going to
amazing. I know now.
No. I mean, really interestingly though, I'm saying that and I'm seeing all like goody, make your, good housekeeping kind of vibes. I am still the person that will see a 99p body wash with the same messaging that is like talking to you. And I'm like, they want to make like a bottle of with 99.9% sodium lauryl sulfate, and the rest of it is the tackiest, cheapest fragrance. But if it has calming, I'm like
soothing.
Exact same thing. So to go full circle, you are absolutely not alone. I buy anything with the marketing of sleep, calming, anxiety. I feel like that's probably one of the most booming things right now, because especially now with everything, like everyone, supermarkets, that was the first thing I noticed when we were like lockdown in the UK. I was like, I just want a Radox. I want a bottle of Radox.
Yeah, you just want something.
Something cheap and cheerful, just kind of.
Yeah, for a bath, yeah. So actually, talking of baths are like literally my ultimate self-care ritual. Ultimate. I don't think I could live in a house anymore without a bath, or I think if I did, I'd have to have like a membership to I don't know, a jacuzzi place.
But then even that wouldn't be the same. You're not going to be then dropping the oils in like, oh, sorry. Hope you like lavender.
Some eucalyptus.
Yeah.
I literally, like, I make a bath a ritual, and it's something that I actually see as a spell. Like, I see it as a full ritual. So
can you tell us what would that even entail?
So cleanse in the bathroom with herbs before I get in. So recently I've been really drawn to, because I moved back to Scotland, I've been really drawn to kind of looking for Scottish herbs, like in the garden. So like dried rose petals from the gardens. Like I'm really lucky. One of my friends has this big beautiful garden with lots of different plants in it. We live in a flat, so I don't have that, but she does, so I steal hers. And rosemary, fresh rosemary, and I'll just like set it alight, and I'll just like walk around using that as a,
and I bet that smells incredible.
Yeah, and it has the same effect. It's just uplifting. It clears my mind. I just feel really calm. And then I'll use obviously my crystals, and I'll use essential oils, and I'll also get like dried petals, and I'll get plants like flowers, and I'll put them in the bath too with salts. And it's my favorite thing ever.
I mean, you're literally in like a ramen broth of like goodness.
Yes, literally. Like, because a lot of our skin can take in a lot of like medicinal qualities
from people forget.
Yeah, it's an organ. So it actually, like, not only does it make your skin feel really smooth and so like good when you come out the bath, but it absorbs a lot of the nutrients that you would take from like drinking it or eating it, like the same benefits. Yeah,
I think that's what people forget, which is why we have to be careful with and that's why I'm kind of so strict whenever people say things about pillows. I'm like, please just use like the cleanest things ever, because we have to be so careful. Okay, so when you're setting the scene, you're having your crystals there, I bet there's a lot of kind of, you know, self-focus and positivity there. Do you ever bring an iPad in? Do you ever watch anything? Do you ever listen to music? What's your kind of, and if you do, or if not, when would that still be part of your routine?
Yeah, so I will definitely always, I've got a Reiki playlist that I made, and it's just, so I don't really listen to this music all the time. I've got like obviously different genres that I go to, but when it comes to like an evening bath and just being chilled, I'll always listen to like crystal bowls or something really soothing and gentle, like nothing that's going to like trigger anything in my mind, something that's just switch off, just relax. Yeah, so I'll do a little meditation, I'll get in the bath, I'll just listen to calm music, and I kind of take it as a moment to like leave everything at the door. So I don't know about you, but my brain is, I've got quite an active brain, so I'm constantly thinking, like constantly just, I don't switch off. Even when I'm sleeping, I have the wildest dreams. It's just constantly going.
Do you dream a lot?
A lot.
A lot of nightmares?
They're not nightmares, but I do like to have fun. It's always an adventure.
But I try to take that evening bath as a moment of, okay, I'm going to calm. This is my time just to chill, and I'll literally switch off from whatever I'm thinking about and just try to keep my mind as still as possible.
I think having things like the sound bath, the crystal baths, like that makes such a difference. I'm actually the same. So unless it's watching something which is so, I mean, it's an easy escapism because you're kind of not really relying on yourself for it. You're kind of relying, which it's not always the best, but whatever works. But, you know, crystal sound baths, the same, anything kind of different frequencies, calming, relaxing, 100% with you. Candles, stuff like that.
Yeah, everything is so good. What about you? What's your routine?
Okay, it's like, that's when I like stutter, because I'm like, where the hell do I even start? Because it is literally, I mean, for me, like evening routines, firstly, I don't think I'd even be here if I didn't have evening routines. It is one of the most pinnacle parts of what I am. And like, I give such a premise to it, and also very quite protective over it. So if anything kind of gets, which is why I brought some stuff that kind of encapsulate it, earplugs, because I'm kind of so, you know, even what you were talking about, you kind of create this bubble. So you've got this gorgeous music, you've made this amazing bath. And sadly, when you live with housemates, no matter who they are, or, you know, what kind of caliber they are, anyone can ruin that. And there's that kind of opportunity where, and when you're already kind of anxious, you've made all this effort to control everything around you to look kind of heal. You're kind of, you're doing your kind of software update. Imagine if something kind of yanks out the plug, or someone takes that plug. So I always feel like I need to kind of close off a lot. So I'll either, digi detox, I'll just tell my phone, I'll let certain people know that I'm kind of going to be going MIA for a bit.
Yep.
My partner could get hold of me if he needs to, but I'll just have a few hours just by myself. And as soon as I come in, take any clothes, anything off. I get changed in pajamas. I get changed in loungewear. I am the most domesticated person. I'm destined for that, and I'm content with that. I don't care. And
I think that's so important. I think it's so important just to have to know that about yourself as well, and be happy about that, and not try to change it.
To own it, because
I think, literally.
I mean, whatever age, 20s or 30s, if I had most of the reactions to kind of going, overkill, or going really into nighttime routine, it's usually kind of like negative because you're either boring, you're reclusive, all these things. And I'm so at a point in my life now where actually I am so proud because I actually know what it can do. And if it can sustain, which is, I think, one of the biggest words. It's not even just how well you deal with things. If you can just sustain yourself and get through things, then you're resilient. And if evening routines, it's the one thing that out of anything I've gone through that I look at and I think, oh my gosh, that 100% got me to a place that nothing else could have. They can seem so menial and so simple, but that's the beauty of it. It's the collection of these really, the simple life in a way. It really is these tiny things that our bodies are craving, these little things, and we're only looking for these huge things like, oh, I need a takeout, oh, I need a, sexy chat with this person, I need I need quick stimuli all the time. And I'm like, your body is literally just craving, give it a hug, give your neck a rub, put some essential oil on you, get changed, be a bit, free in your room, wait a bit until you get dressed in something else, just have that time.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy. And it's something that it's only more now what I do that I'm able to kind of talk more openly about these things, and also that people enjoy actually hearing about it. But it's just crazy. So many people I meet and know who haven't done these things, for people like us, it's quite hard to imagine because we're built on that. It's one of our biggest routines.
For sure. I think when I look back to, I think I'm so comfortable now with the concept of not going out. It sounds really silly, but I used to have FOMO, and I used to feel so pressured into like obviously I wanted to party for a lot of my earlier 20s, but even more recently when friends have been going on big nights out and things like that before COVID, I still felt this calling of no, my body doesn't need that. And I think it's because I just started to honor it. And when I started to honor it and realized that it's okay to say no, it's okay to take time for me, I don't have to be everything for everyone, that's when my body started reacting better. I got rid of loads of symptoms that I was having, like acne and even things like IBS and all these big things which had just impacted
your skin.
My whole body was just relax, okay, chill. And it's so important for me. And I think talking of nighttime routines is really interesting because I'm like you, and I think, okay, when I get home, I get into a tracksuit or my joggers.
The baggier, the better. Comfier,
relax. My bra's off, I'm relaxing. But in the morning, I've realized that for my own mental health, I have to actually get up and do something. So I find that if I wake up first thing and try to go for a walk or a run or do some yoga and then come home and get ready, that makes me feel awake. Whereas if I end up staying in my pajamas for until lunchtime or whatever, I end up kind of going into a slump in the afternoon. So that's been quite a big wake-up call for me in these last couple of months, that I'm definitely somebody who has to be up and ready to feel energized.
I think that, I can relate massively. I think it's because we chill so hard.
Yeah.
We go in, hairs back, full blinkered Kill Bill theme tune on. So if we don't have an actual juxtapose, you got to get up, honey, vibe, then we just carry on into that kind of sedative state. Because if we work so hard with it, you're already rested enough anyway. And if you've done all the things that we've done, you're ready. Your body's craving actually a bit of action, a bit of a, come on, let's do something and feel proud. And the same as you, really recently I've got into doing walks. 5-10K is kind of a daily target minimum. And to get on top of either a meditation, I cycle meditation and yoga in the morning. And I've never in my life been able to keep it up for more than like 3 days in a row. And I've done it now for a week and a half daily. And the confidence it builds, and on Instagram, I follow it, and I follow him for years, Joseph, he's massive on mindset, and he genuinely has taught me that massively, that you literally just need to kind of prove to yourself that you can do something a few times.
And then you're on a roll.
Yeah. But then I've so been there, like I was there 2 weeks ago, that I don't believe that. But then it is true. And it's really weird because the people that don't believe it are the ones watching videos like this. And I was watching people talk about this all the time and feeling inspired from them, but not for myself. And it's like, I didn't want to give that to myself. So now I'm doing it, and it's, topping
Yeah, I think like, I don't know if this is like, I don't want to go too deep, but I think a lot of this stuff comes down to like worthiness as well. Like,
yeah, hugely.
I think that like sometimes I've definitely felt like when I wasn't nourishing my body probably the way I should have, and it was affecting my mind, it was almost like when I didn't feel worthy of like, it's like, I don't know if that comes across like the right way.
It's like you almost, you don't deserve it. It's like you're already expecting that it's not even going to benefit that much, because there's no point. There's no worth in doing that for yourself. Yeah.
And then when you step into that, like, this is my time, I deserve this, I deserve to feel relaxed. That's when it starts to significantly kind of become like a very easy daily habit, because you feel more empowered and you feel worth it and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I used to probably watch videos like this at points and think like, no, like, I don't know, I always felt like I resonated, but again, like you, I just didn't feel that could happen for me. And then it started happening, and then it kind of snowballs, and it gets better and better, I guess, and you feel more and more in your worth from it.
Because the same voice that kind of says like you don't deserve it, or subconscious that tells you that you shouldn't do it, which makes you not do it, you kind of almost need to market a reason or an excuse. It's like parents being like, oh no, but if I get this, like I promise that it will work, and they're like, not really. By doing it in a few days, your body can't be fooled by actually realizing, oh, actually this is actually really nice. So it's like your marketing tool of selling it to like evil side, and into, you know, the contrast, or I shouldn't say evil, the kind of the contrasting side that stops us doing things. It's kind of almost like have fun and kind of just prove it wrong. I believe kind of like head and heart is different. I think we're all one thing, and we should kind of really respect that a lot. So I never think it's like, oh, like my head's ruining this. It's like, no, you know, your whole body's one, and you could also be making it worse for yourself. You're not giving yourself that love. And that's something that I've really realized recently, that you have to definitely own it. And even if you don't feel confident about owning these things, or I'll even joke, even if it looks like I'm either putting myself down, maybe it's like a safety blanket thing, but I'll joke so many times I'm either grandma, grandpa, domesticated, I'm mean girl's mum. I'll joke about it, but it's vocalized a way that I'm like, don't expect me to ever come out all the time. And I'm like, it's kind of worked. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of dug myself out, but I could take it. Like, so I'd recommend that to anyone who maybe doesn't feel it. Just kind of joke a bit about yourself with it. Just say, yeah, I totally am kind of, or a character from EastEnders. I'll be like, I'm the first to say I'm like a whatever, or a Sharon, or any kind of mum name. I'm like, that's just me. That's just the way I am. And it's kind of an easier way to just tell people to piss off.
And I feel like when you take ownership of it, then no one else can kind of, if you're making fun of yourself anyway, what is anyone going to say?
And actually they'll usually say, oh, I love that as well. Maybe not to the same degree, and that's, you know, totally fine. But you'll actually find that having those conversations, that a lot of people have it a lot more, and they like it just as much. And they'll probably ask you about tips as well, or they'll actually come up and say, actually, I really struggle sleeping or stuff. And then you're there with this huge pantry of like ideas and tips, and you know, your oils are out, and I'm like, come on. And then they actually like you even more. So it goes full circle.
I think it does. It definitely goes full circle. And I think that goes with anything. As soon as you feel like you set boundaries and you feel in control and you're happy with who you are and you accept it, then there's nothing that can go wrong with that. It's the best way to kind of, it's a hard point to get to sometimes, but it does happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's a hard point to get to, but.
Very, very, very. And it's even that, you know, it takes a long time, but I just wish just being a bit more gutsy with it genuinely would get you much quicker. And I wish I could have told myself that a long time ago. Totally changing it. One of my biggest favorite things about evening, and I have So a lot of my family live in the south of France and French, and herbs and herbal teas are a pinnacle part, no matter how warm it is, a pinnacle part of an evening. Since me growing up, my mum has been kind of the biggest influencer with skincare. So if she didn't come downstairs stinking of green people or Ren or all these different brands and staining white sheets with all these night creams and 4 herbal teas on the go, constantly refilling with the same bag, I would not be the person I was today, because I live off herbal tea.
Herbal tea.
I brought my favorite one in the world, so I only have 1 box left. So it's a brand called Celestial Seasonings. Have you ever tried this brand?
No, I've never tried that brand.
So I think it's an American or Canadian brand. They do the strongest sleepy teas I've ever had in my life, unless you go with something like melatonin, which obviously just knocks you out for the count. What is your favorite herbal tea, or ones that just you're obsessed with?
My favorite herbal tea for nighttime is chamomile. Every time, chamomile just.
Favorite brand or favorite type? Do you do it loose or favorite your go-to?
I do a loose tea. I always do a loose tea, but I don't have a favorite brand. I'm more of a coffee person. I love herbal teas, but I'm like big on coffee, and I can actually drink coffee at any time. I don't get affected by caffeine. I could drink a coffee right now and still fall asleep. It doesn't seem to affect me. I don't think that's for everyone. That's definitely just a me thing. But I've never. Yeah,
that's not. I mean, that's actually gobsmacking, because I live off coffee. But if I have it any time after 5, I am wired like the national grid. Like, I'm not sleeping.
Oh no, I'm just like I find it like quite relaxing.
And this isn't decaf. This is full calf.
This is full like filtered coffee.
Wow.
Like cafetiere.
Okay, wow.
I know, but I don't think anyone else should try that, because it is definitely.
No.
I've got one other friend who I know who will wake up in the night and have a coffee.
No.
I know.
No.
I know. But no, but I do love herbal teas, and I love chamomile, and I love green teas. I love mint teas. I love fresh mint. I'll just get fresh mint leaves and I'll just put them in a cup. Like, that's my favorite thing. And ginger in the mornings I find really good.
Ginger and lemon, cayenne pepper, even something like a bit spicy.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, I've never got into herbal teas in the morning, and I really wish I did. But for me, I've had so many in the evening that it just makes me think, oh, it's bedtime again, Chris. Back to bed you go.
Oh, see, I got this really nice. Have you tried apple cider vinegar as a drink?
Every single day I drink it. I'm obsessed.
So I got this really nice blend of, it's turmeric, apple cider vinegar, and ginger. And I'll have like a little cup of that with cold water, and then next to that I'll have like a hot lemon and ginger. And I feel like that is a nice way to kind of, in the morning, just like a little cleanse, I guess, like flush the body a little bit.
And it's something tasty as well, because sometimes I remember I read Cameron Diaz's book. I don't know if you ever read it. She did like a body book. It's actually really incredible. I got on Audible. And as soon as she gets up, I think she has like a liter of water or something. Like, she literally has like the biggest amount of water she can get. And that just kind of clears everything out. But I think sometimes when I try and drink a lot of water, because it's the first thing, you kind of need something a bit exciting to kind of entice you into like the day. Actually, that's a good idea. Herbal tea.
It's really good. And I just think it's quite nice. I think there's so many like also, before I forget, cacao. Have you tried cacao yet?
I saw one that you did.
Cacao, like an oat milk, cinnamon.
Love oat milk.
That is a really good heart medicine. Really, really good heart medicine. It works with the heart chakra. Mm-hmm. And I swear that has got me through like breakups in the past.
We've now got you making it. Can you tell us a bit how, what has it impacted for you? How has it helped you drinking these?
So I went to my first cacao ceremony, which was this crazy experience. And it was actually to release pain from the heart, or to help heal heartbreak. And I was kind of skeptical, I'm not going to lie. At first I was like, surely this drink can't help me in this way. So I drank it, and the lady who was holding the ceremony, she talks you through like, you're in a meditation, and she's like, okay, think about a time that maybe you felt heartbroken or you felt pain, and it helps you to release those emotions. And so that was obviously a ceremonial grade cacao, which was pretty strong. She was a Mayan. it was a Mayan ceremony. You can drink it any time. Well, I drink it anytime, but it's good in the mornings to kind of start the day. It gives you a little bit of a kick, like caffeine wise.
With
sure.
turmeric, with the turmeric one as well, because that's something that I would definitely have that in the morning. Would that be the same thing, or would you have that at nighttime or anytime?
Anytime. The turmeric one is an Indian drink. It's called Indian golden milk or golden milk. But I make a vegan version, so you can. Well, when I say oat milk or coconut, you can mix it with any milk. It's turmeric, cinnamon, manuka honey, and I put dairy-free milk in, and kind of mix it all up, and it makes it's anti-inflammatory,
antifungal. There's even benefits for that, I believe.
Antioxidant. It boosts your immune system. It boosts your energy levels. For anyone when you've got your period, it's really good for anti-bloating, and it really calms hormones down. So it's a really good kind of balancer, I find.
Okay.
I was going to say I brought it with me, but I don't know where I put it. I found this I got this Star Child, the brand, and they had lots of different ones, and this is Aphrodite tea. And they have teas after different goddesses.
So I only know about this from the Lady Gaga music video, which is God of Sexual Desire. The GUI song.
Yeah.
Awful. That's really not, oh well, but I'm honest with it.
But this is it. This is her, Aphrodite.
Literally Aphrodite. It's good. Good playing words.
Aphrodite. I know. That's a good branding name. You should think of that.
Well, this hasn't been posted yet, so we could just clip this out then.
This is rose petals and maca roots, the and it's for fertility and love. So, but they had so many different mental health teas. They had balance and love and all these sorts of things, and I love that. I think that's really cool.
So, is there anything that what is the kind of the typical things that you, if you do, because I think you're already going to be better than me, what are the kind of typical things that you would watch before bed or to wind you down, get you into that kind of PM routine?
So I don't want anyone to judge me for this.
No.
I don't want you to judge me for this. Okay. The Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay. Didn't expect that. Okay.
The Kardashians.
Okay. The god of the crystals, the bath, all that, and then it's, hey doll. Wow. Okay.
And it's Kim getting her head hit against that wall. No, it's literally, and so I just need I just fall asleep to that, and I think it used to be. You do not need to
justify it. It's just what do you love about it.
It used to be Gossip Girl. I could still fall asleep to my old shows, the shows I watched when I was a teenager, Gossip Girl and Sex and the City. These are the shows that I literally fall asleep to.
Okay. And I guess because you've already seen it, it's on. Did you ever watch The Hills?
Yes. Things like that I rewatch and just fall asleep to. And I would never usually say that because I feel people are always people can get so judgmental.
No, screw them. No, screw them. And I feel you're definitely in a place now that you don't. You literally
I don't care.
London, and you were bye.
Yeah, I don't care. But I think the reason I watch them is because there's something you're not thinking, you're not actively there's always a drama and it's not yours. So
it's quite refreshing in a way.
It's quite refreshing just to be. It also sometimes I'm other people have issues too, or it's kind of just my brain just switches off. I'm just watching it.
I'm 100% with you.
Justin Bobby was my first crush.
Oh no, I couldn't stand it.
I loved it. I know, but now I can't stand it. But at the time, I just loved it.
Okay, so when you were watching The Hills, what was the kind of person that you related more to, and who was someone that you loved, and who was someone that you didn't like?
I loved Lauren Conrad.
Okay, who were you?
Because I was
who were
in
you
fashion.
In it? So you were Lauren Conrad, or you loved Lauren Conrad?
I loved Lauren Conrad.
I already guess. I feel what you're going to say is yours, but I want to know.
I've forgotten her name now. The brown-haired girl.
Audrina Partridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was more like an Audrina.
Of course you were. Back of a motorbike, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Justin
Bobby.
Oh, of course you were. Oh my God. Yeah, you were 100% her.
What about you? Who's yours?
Okay, so I feel I'm a a mix between Lauren Conrad, Heidi Montag, and on a bad day, Kristen.
Oh, do you think so?
So like very, you know, if I'm like Aggie or like, yeah, I feel like I'm too Kristen Cavallari. I just thought she was hilarious. Like I literally just thought
I loved Heidi. I did love Heidi. You know, when Spencer got into like crystals,
yeah. Oh
and
my
they
gosh.
became like, I kind of felt like F you, because he's kind of
Rep
giving
for
me
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember that one when it was like at the kids' party and he was like petting the goat and Stephanie was having the issues with them and he was literally holding
Yeah.
the quartz like on the head, like to calm him. And we still don't know like how much, I mean, obviously it was very like staged. I still don't want to believe that it was, but okay, so that's cool. We went down a rabbit hole, which I did not think we would have gone down. Okay, for me, so what I was saying was I used to watch the same things, but I actually found that it was actually stimulating more because again, it was, and also in a way, a very open talk. I was kind of comparing myself too much to them and it would make me feel like utter, like I was like that's what I want, you know. Heidi, when she, you know, for me, if I fall quick. You know, a lot of what happens in my family was very young, so I'm already kind of like ticking clock, like engaged or married, and I do want that kind of fast life, and actually I can give as much, if not more than these people, so why am I not? And it would kill me. So I actually had to stop, even to my favorite shows, I just couldn't do it. So now I actually watch more things like, and I wonder if this will shock you. So this is no judgment. So I definitely was surprised.
No judgment.
I mean, you literally went like the complete opposite. My favorite things to watch is how it's made on YouTube, any factory things or anything autonomous, anything engineering.
I didn't expect this.
Oh my God, we'll get ready. Anything autonomous, anything building, anything spray painting, like car wrapping videos or car paint videos. Dip your car, I followed for 7 years.
What's Dip Your Car? I don't know what Dip Your Car is.
It's like a spray vinyl wrap for your car. It's in America. They are insane.
Okay.
Car wow videos of Matt Watson, like obsessed, like anything cars, anything aviation, anything aircraft, anything submarine. I can't even go into it. Like sweaty hair and do the filming.
Yeah. Not everyone was perfect at that point. Everyone was it was very real. I guess it was a totally different time if you think about the transitional period from now until then, and from then till now. It's crazy.
In terms of putting ourselves on a platform, you know, we do that anyway, just with our Instagrams. We've done that with our jobs. You massively do that with everything you do, way more than me. How do you cope with it? Do you ever experience sometimes negativity? How's that experience for you? Is that something that you've had? I hope not, but
No, definitely. I think it's actually been interesting recently because when I started the Instagram, so when I started doing my healing work, it was very much with the focus of like helping people, and I just wanted to help women who'd been through what I'd went through, which was like trauma at a young age, and I really wanted to use these tools that I'd learned to help them heal, and it was all focused on this healing. And I had never realized that I would ever, for whatever reason, like even though it was like my platform or whatever, I kind of always felt like there was something else was the focus, and the focus wasn't on like me. The focus was on the healing, the focus was on the journey,
the content,
and then the content. And then something kind of happened, which was really nice of her, and I have huge thanks for her, but quite a big influencer had mentioned me in a story, and overnight I got like 1,000 followers from that. And really weirdly, as much as I was so appreciative of her and everything, like I was really grateful for it, I got really like, suddenly my mindset started to shift, and I was kind of, I don't know how to quite explain it. It was almost like I kind of lost sense of the identity of the platform and where things were going. And I felt like almost like I had to be a certain kind of way. So I stopped talking about the things that mattered, and maybe my content changed to being a bit more self-centered. And I don't know, it kind of interestingly like flipped. But recently I've started to go back onto.
Good.
It took me from like this thing where I felt really confident because the audience that I had, even though at the time it was so small, and it still isn't like, it's not like a huge platform or anything at all. But at the time it was like, maybe I only had like just a couple of hundred people following me, but I knew those people were really interested in what I was posting about, and they were really like happy about, like they got a lot from it. So when it was this influx of new people, I felt like, well, they don't want to hear about my like mental health stuff. They just want to see a selfie, or and it totally changed. And I got into this kind of really anxious and like self kind of deprecating mode where I was like, I don't look a certain way, I need to do this. And it was actually my boyfriend who was like, you started this Instagram account to help people, so I don't know why suddenly you're so scared to help people anymore. And once I started taking stock of that, I've definitely, because I think Instagram, I think it's a wonderful tool, and as a business tool for me, it gets all my customers through that, and that's where I use it for my business. But I do think there's a thing with Instagram where we're constantly looking through streams of people, and there's a lot of comparison that can happen from that. And I can find myself kind of, if I spend too long on the app, I will go into a bit of a spiral with it.
I agree, and that's why like I have to literally limit access to it so much, and really use it to upload, see a few things, and that's it. I have to like say goodbye to it.
So I think like I've changed who I follow. So I now follow a lot of people like yourself, people who give educational content, and people who are real, and people who are out there to kind of, I'm learning when I'm on the app now. I feel like it's definitely something I use as a tool for learning, whereas before maybe it was scrolling through people who I would aspire to be one day, and like that kind of thing.
Like a mood board kind of look, but
unhealthy mood board. Whereas now it's where now it's like for example, I love like when you talk about products, and when you do like, just you have really good videos and really good content, so I watch it and I actually feel happy watching it. I'm like, this is great. Cool. So
well, that means a lot, because YouTube is number one. Instagram's like second cousin.
So it's been a really big learning curve, and I'm still like definitely learning a lot with it. And I've now created, I've not actually uploaded one video, but I've now created a TikTok.
Yay.
Because I'm going to make little tarot videos. And I haven't got a YouTube channel, but I was thinking of doing like my tarot readings on YouTube. So I might do that one day as well. I think kind of maybe moving it out of the Instagram, making it something a bit more substantial will only help, I guess.
I could super see, would you ever get into doing kind of sound baths or your own kind of ASMR videos?
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do, because I mean it. Like, I'm actually quite surprised you don't have a YouTube channel already, other than the fact that you're busy as hell and you probably wouldn't even have the time to put any energy into that when you need to put it in everything else.
I don't know. I love YouTube. Like, I watch other people's YouTubes. Like, I don't really have anyone that I follow. Like, I'll watch your videos. I'll watch like skincare videos, and I'll watch a lot of tutorials. But I like look at these people and I'm like, it's so amazing that they're doing that. But I just haven't never had, I guess it's a confidence thing again. Like, I've never ever had the confidence to be like, they would hear what I've got to say. So now that I guess I'm getting more and more confident with talking and being about things, and
But I can relate. I mean, doing YouTube is one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like,
so when did you like decide this is what I'm gonna do?
2015, and it's crazy. It's also crazy because the person I was then, like, again, I could just wish I just gave like a hug, and I was like, it's totally fine, don't worry. So I used to be called Still in Search, and then another band was called that, and it was really annoying because they kept like, it was just, I was like, no, I need to change it, and I changed it to Still in Luck, which is a play on my name, a second name anyway. Two people that really inspired me. So my close friends, and I remember Chris's words, and he always said, you either need to do an audiobook, or you need to do a podcast, or you need to do YouTube. He was like, your voice needs to be heard. You need to put yourself out there. You need to do it. And I was like, no, I'm going to do that. And then I was like, literally just F it. I have to do this. Like, no one's going to do it for me. I have to do it. So I started making videos, not very often. I got into a relationship, which kind of, I think, held me back a bit from doing that. And then after that, it always flourished. You could tell when I was single because that was when my uploads were like, boom. I like, you know, YouTube was like my partner, like my viewers were like a relationship. And then I had a kind of a altercation in terms of I had a car accident 2 years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Which was, no. I mean, super lucky, super lucky. And that was the biggest snow globe wake up I've ever had in my whole existence. And before that point, you know, I still wasn't a very big YouTuber at all. Like I'm really still, I think I'm 2,400 or something now. I need to just give it all I've got.
I love seeing him. I don't know if I know that one.
Oh my God, I actually love that song so much. And I was like, I need to freaking do this. I was like, I have nothing to lose. Like I should be dead. Like, I know it's a big thing to say easily, but also because I think whenever you go through something crazy, like you can choose the terminologies you use to kind of demean it and kind of make it kind of seem normal for that. I think that's also how we kind of deal with things.
But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we're all multi-dimensional people. We've got like so many, like, not the wrong word, multi-dimensional. We're all, what is it?
No, I get that. We're a lot. We're a lot. And I think it's interesting to kind of, I don't know if it would have to be a separate channel. I don't know enough about it, but I think it's quite cool to like, you can be like the most amazing skincare advisor and like know all your like stuff on that, but you could also have really good knowledge on planes and tech and cars. Maybe when I'm bigger, I'm going to say when, because I'm all about that kind of manifesting it.
Manifestation,
when I'm bigger,
yeah, positive.
have to, rather than if, because, you know, we've not got time for that. When I can reach more people and I'm more, you know, not worrying about what I need to put as like keywords for it kind of thing, then I think I can definitely do that. For now, it's got to be much more, you know, relatable things that I've got to do. And that's totally fine. I think anyone's journey into YouTube is takes a long time. It takes a really long time. It's like a nighttime sense. We'll wind this video down now, but I hope for kind of anyone who watches this and, you know, who follows you that's come through it to see this and to get to know you a bit better. If you do get into YouTube, at least then I can actually put your YouTube handle in a description. That would help. But for now, obviously, I'll put everything for Jade, everything down there. And anything kind of upcoming, any information that would be good. So if you're doing any classes and things like that, I can also link that down below.
That would be wonderful.
So I'm going to make it, we're not going to say now in the video, I'm going to make it nice and applicable for when it is the release, depending on when I can get this edited. So everything will be down in the description box.
I was going to say, I just think it's amazing that you're doing, like, you tackle content like this as well, because I think that it's really brave to openly say, like, I have anxiety and this helps me. And I think that the world needs more of that.
Well, we're going to hopefully enthuse people to do it. And even if they're not going to do it in front of a laptop, phone, with cabled or non-cabled headphones, that they're going to do it anyway, just to themselves. And I think I can already tell this kind of video would have been a perfect video to watch, like before bed, relaxing and kind of experience like a fly on the wall of two people kind of being very open and relatable. And it's weird actually, because a few years ago, I never would have dreamed, you know, for you as well, years ago, could you ever have imagined you even would have talked about these things ever?
No. I got a diagnosis of CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I got that diagnosis 4 or 5 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. And up until then, I'd still been struggling as well. And even when I got the diagnosis, it was very much like, okay, like I would never have publicly said it on any kind of platform. I kept it quite close to my chest. So the development and like the way that I think everyone feels more comfortable in talking now is it really makes me happy that we're in this together. Like we really are, and like everyone's got to be there for each other.
And regardless of, you know, whatever percentage, which I'm always ready for, of, you know, people that maybe don't understand it, they're at a different stage of their journey, and that's all I can think of it. And you are so right. You know, we're at a really good place. So yeah, for anyone watching, like we both really hope you enjoyed it. What are some things that you would say would be kind of your best starter equip kit for after this to have like our and your kind of vibe, you know, evening to your standards? So Jade standards, you know, seal of approval. Everyone who's watching this already, you've heard me go on. What are the kind of a few things that they can easily incorporate that you think can kind of help them?
So the app Insight Timer is free, or Headspace you can pay. I think it's about £10 a month, but it's definitely worth it. So Calm, Headspace, and Insight Time are really good meditation apps. So trying to take 5 minutes to meditate before you go to bed or in the morning. Herbal teas, chamomile tea. If you can get some essential oils, I would say either an oil burner, which is wonderful, and you can get them for really cheap actually. Probably on the internet, like on Amazon or something, or
So
even
easy.
V&M
So
and
cheap.
stuff do them.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
cheap.
it's like porcelain and a tea light candle.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's really cheap, and just get some essential oils and put them in the top. And then incense or incense sticks would be a wonderful place to start. They're just ways to kind of calm the mind down. If you were interested in any kind of crystals, something gentle like a piece of selenite would be really good next to your bed to help you fall asleep. Stuff like Himalayan salt baths, all you really need, that's the perfect place to start. Some Himalayan salts, again, you can get them for pretty cheap now. Taking time to journal. Journaling, I've got to say, is, I personally use my tarot cards as well, or oracle cards, but if you don't have them, writing down how you feel, getting all your thoughts onto paper and just parking it before you go to bed, it's done. You can pick it up in the morning again, is like my kind of go-to. And the housewife.
And yes, I love that.
And the housewife.
You said that really like quieter. Still shook there. That's actually, yeah. I mean, we've both shocked each other. I think we've learned even more.
We have shocked each other. I'm really shocked.
Okay, thank you. This is such a cool video. Thanks for just getting it out there. We're going to sign off.
Yes.
We actually filmed this in a very suiting time, so I hope you guys appreciate it. We did this in the evening.
Yes, bedtime.
We're both ready for bed, super chilled, and we hope you find these tips really handy. Let us know down in the comments down below. Make sure if you haven't already, please do subscribe and give it a like. Only positivity here. And also make sure that do check out the description box, because we're going to put any information that we think would be really handy down there. So if there's any things that I've mentioned that I can put links, I will put those down below. If there's any cool things upcoming with Jade that she is publicizing on Instagram, I'm going to make sure as well that's put down here, as with her handles for her own channel. So make sure to have a little look down there. And yeah, Jade, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
I've had such a nice time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. And we'll speak soon, obviously. But yeah, I hope you have a lovely evening tonight. Good night. You need to go and have a chamomile tea. I'm going to go douse myself in lavender, some more rose hand cream, get the vibes on. And I'm going to laugh when I watch my shows. Just think, right now, in another world, another parallel universe, your Housewives thing is coming on, and your intro, like Jade, and it's like, what would be your saying, actually? One thing to leave it on.
Oh my goodness. So, you know when Lisa Vanderpump says, she's like, throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack.
So that would be yours?
No, it wouldn't, but that's like my favourite one of all. I've got, I love dogs, but I don't like bitches.
Yep.
Whatever one. I don't know what mine would be. Oh, I don't know. I need to think of this.
People would think I'm bitchy, but I only keep it witchy or something like that. And it would be very like holistic, and it would be turned around with like some rosemary burning or something. Or we can definitely do better. We can definitely do better. So down as well, down below, let us know what you think would be an amazing one. And that's actually, something totally random, but I do want to find out, because I've actually done that before with friends, being like, what would yours be? So I want to know. I want you guys as well to write down below and let us know what you think would be Jade's perfect intro. Yeah,
that is so good. I love that.
I don't watch it, so I don't want mine. Just Jade's, okay? All right, we'll sign off. I'll speak to you, Jade. Thank you so much as well for today.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Okay, I'll stop.